Hi, everybody, and welcome to the last micro lecture for the module 0, getting started, getting ready. It's 0.3, and in this little micro lecture, we're going to talk about how do you complete the Institute modules. So we are building on what we did last year. And if you weren't here, that's okay. And if you were, great, welcome back. So the steps to complete each module, there's going to be 2 parts. There's prepare and explore. So when we prepare, whether or not you participated last year, you can either preview or review the module content asynchronously. Most likely, it's easy to do it the day before we meet live. And if you're doing this entire experience asynchronously, then just watch the prepare parts before you watch the explore parts. Either way works. If you haven't participated in the modules from last year, they had a specific pathway, and it's designed to help you identify what are the topics where you really want to focus. So you don't have to spend 90 minutes going into great detail when you really want just one little nugget. So how do you do that? First, complete the check-in with yourself survey. It asks you to identify strength areas where you already know a fair amount and maybe even practicing some of the strategies we described, or they're growth areas where you're interested, they sound like they could work for you, and you want to learn more. Once you've identified the areas that are growth areas or the strength areas you want to review again, you can go watch relevant videos. You can complete any activities that come after those videos. Everything's online and ready to go for you. Also encourage you to prepare some questions that you can ask this time around. Now that we've had a little bit of time to go through all of this in real world classroom experiences or online class experiences, we can have some better ideas about what it looks like, what works and what doesn't work. That's the point of the second part, explore, where we will either join together synchronously, or if you can't, asynchronously review the recordings, and we'll look at specifically equity topics related to each of the 4 module concepts: course structure and flexibility, assessment and flexibility, engagement and flexibility, and content review and flexibility. Then we'll look at, in each of those sections, California State University system faculty, staff, and campus leaders who provide examples of what they've been doing over the last year or more as they've made flexible experiences for the students in their classrooms or on their campuses. And then you'll have an opportunity to practice some of the things that they show, or they'll engage us in discussions around them, maybe specifically around the equity considerations we need to be thinking about. And then it's up to you to identify from this big buffet of ideas which strategies that you want to either apply in your own course or research further by leaning on those local resources, your colleagues or staff on your campus. The calendar looks like this. This is the synchronous version for those of you who are going to participate in real time. If you want to go through this in the recommended fashion, then on Monday, June 13th, sometime set aside a few minutes to go through the materials from last year. If you didn't participate at all last year and you really want this experience, set aside 90 minutes, but you can always come back later. You can do things in whatever order makes sense. Again, I strongly recommend using that check-in with yourself survey to identify the areas where you want to focus related to course structure, assessment, engagement, and course materials. So after you've done that preparation, whatever extent you've done it, even if you do nothing, it's okay. Join us the next day for our exploration of the equity topics related to those core concepts. And listen to your colleagues and watch what they demonstrate as they show and share the examples of what they did over the last year or more, infusing flexibility into their courses and addressing equity challenges that arose. Then we'll repeat this. What is a rinse, lather, repeat? So we're going to do that 3 more times with module 2, module 3, and module 4. We'll have an open lab where we'll have just a time period for us to get together and ask questions. If you can't join live, it's going to have asynchronous channels for your questions to get asked and answered. And as a bonus, if you're interested, the online teaching conference is at the very end of the month and the beginning of the next month, and we'll be presenting some folks from the Chancellor's Office and I about Flexible Course Experience Institute from last year, and you might gain some interesting tidbits from that as well. So we're excited to be doing this, again, focusing on the fact that we are modeling flexible delivery by making synchronous and asynchronous pathways for you to participate. So what's next? Well, before we get started, I encourage you to introduce yourself in the Canvas course for this Flexibility for Equitable Learning and Teaching Institute, and share what your goals are. And we'll be catching up with one another, and we'll be seeing you soon, either synchronously or asynchronously. I'm excited to have you here. Thanks for watching.